And now let me show you some headlines. Why a global recession is inevitable in 2023. Economists place 70% chance for US recession in 2023. Eurozone predicted to have a deep recession. Worst fall in UK living standards since records began. China is suffering a major financial crisis. These are all stories from last year. You couldn't escape the bad news then. Everyone was talking about a global recession. It was being called inevitable in 2023. Well, we are in 2023. We've entered the month of February. Are we still staring at a recession? Experts are divided. 3 weeks ago, the World Bank shared a bleak outlook. It said the global economy is, quote unquote, perilously close to a recession. Here is the forecast. Global growth will slow to 1.7%. The world's richest economies are slowing down. I'm talking about the United States, Japan, and the Eurozone. The Eurozone is the group of countries that have the euro as their currency. There are 20 such countries. Growth in all these economies has been steadily declining. In 2021, they grew at 5.3%. 2022, that's last year, 2.5%. So the growth halved. What about this year, 2023? Just 0.5%. That is the projection, less than 1% growth. So the richest countries will stall. What about the rest of the world? In South Asia, the growth rate will touch 5.5%. The World Bank predicts India will grow at 6.6%, China at 4.9%. Why such a grim forecast? The World Bank has spelled out 4 reasons: high inflation, high interest rates, reduced investment, and disruptions caused by the Russia-Ukraine war. Obvious problems ailing the global economy. This is the World Bank's forecast. Some others paint a less gloomy picture, but gloomy nonetheless, like the International Monetary Fund or the IMF. Their new outlook came out this week. It says the global economy will grow at 2.9%. The United States, 1.4%. The Eurozone, 0.7%. So the West is still struggling, but not India. The IMF says India will grow at 6.1%. The fastest growing economy in the world, and China at 5.2%. So India and China will play a vital role. They will drive the global economy. Together, these two countries are projected to account for over 50% of the global growth this year. To sum up, the IMF believes there won't be a recession, but there's a need to be cautious.
Kristalina, should our audience be pessimistic or optimistic about the year ahead?
Well, stay put. My message is it is less bad than we feared a couple of months ago. But less bad doesn't quite yet mean good.
Less bad doesn't quite mean good. That is the message. And India's Reserve Bank seems to agree. 2 weeks back, the RBI released its own assessment. It does not dismiss the risk of recession. Allow me to quote from what it said. A slowdown in growth with possibilities of recession in large swathes of the global economy has become the baseline assessment, even as inflation may average well above targets. Emerging markets are appearing more resilient than in the year gone by, but their biggest risks in 2023 stem from US monetary policy and the US dollar. Do you see the trend? Western economies may be in a state of decline, but they still have an oversized influence on our world. Some are getting a reality check, though. The United Kingdom, for instance, the British economy is shrinking. It is likely to contract by 0.6%. And that is not even the most humiliating part. The British economy will shrink more than Russia. Remember, Russia is fighting a war with Ukraine. It faces sweeping sanctions from the West, and yet the Russian economy is expected to do better than the UK. Do you know what this means? The UK will be the world's worst performing major economy this year. How much will this impact the rest of the world? We'll have to wait and see. A documentary on this decline would help.